What is going on, everyone? I am back. I know I've been gone again for quite a few days. These last this last 2 weeks, I think I've streamed maybe four times if you include this one, maybe five. Um, just a lot of stuff going on and a lot of uh, personal items that have to be taken care of. But regardless, I am back with another stream. As you can tell, this is a little bit different of a stream. It's not based on a specific game, while it is still showing a game that I'm playing, which I believe I'm going to be bouncing around a little bit. It kind of depends upon how long I can play. But I will be discussing a couple of the events going on currently, and kind of want to get everybody's input and take on it. And of course, you can always join in on the chat via the audio. If you want to join Discord, sorry, I had to test audio. Um, you can join in on audio with Discord. The link is down below in the description. Just scroll on down and hit join. It's an open invitation to anybody. There's no time limits on it. I am getting back into WoW, of course. I haven't played WoW in, I think, since August, September, a long time, well before my kiddo was born. Um, One second, I think one of my kids just woke up. Alright, nope, good. But I want to talk about a few things, so definitely feel free to chime in, feel free to state your piece. There's really no wrong answer. The only thing I ask is everybody to kind of be mindful and open-minded about whatever we talk about, simply because there's a lot of people who get butthurt over the smallest things. Not much, Dead. Um, just getting started, trying to hop back into WoW. Haven't played in quite some time. So, I need. Sorry, I have to fix my chat box. There we go. Now I can see. But, so, anyways, let's get started. I don't know how many of y'all follow or pay attention with everything that's going on, but that's right. WoW sucks when streaming. Fuck you, WoW. You're always working, man. I do appreciate you stopping by and saying hello. But one of the big events, at least in the gaming world, is the GDC, um, Gamers Developer Convention, I believe. I always get confused with another GDC. But that originally was supposed to take place starting March 16th, and it's been officially postponed. I mean, you can see down below I have a information going on about it. But it's officially postponed, and it took them forever to finally get that shit postponed. Originally, the city mayor was giving PlayStation specifically was giving Sony a lot of flack for being one of the first groups to say, yeah, we're not coming to the GDC because of the coronavirus, or now the COVID-19 virus. And oh man, that mayor threw a fit. You can see all of it on Twitter, on Facebook, on Google, even just search it. And he threw a fit claiming that they were missing out on a huge opportunity and that it came across very prejudice slash racist, I think is the word he used, but I don't really know what's going on with the mayor. But essentially, they were just saying that if they didn't come and they say it was because of the coronavirus, that it wasn't true because the city doesn't have a whole lot of issues with that. And they do. They have horrible, I think they have most of the coronavirus outbreaks are in Boston. Could be wrong. That's like a week ago, 2 weeks ago when I checked that, and they did have the number one in the U.S. with outbreaks, but they're all mild. Uh, but yeah, they claimed Sony was being unfair to them, and that's just kind of bullshit with this coronavirus or COVID-19, whatever you want to call it, outbreak that's causing a lot of issues, even with China and Korea and now Germany. So everybody's kind of getting butt hurt, but they did the right thing, at least in my opinion. I think they did the right thing by not attending the conference. And as you can see, Gearbox and Amazon also dropped out. I believe that was official as of yesterday. But they dropped out of the conference as well because of the COVID virus. Oh, I'm gonna have to choose a different game. Fuck you, WoW. But I don't know if any of y'all even follow or pay attention to the GDC, but it's typically where a lot of. Oh my lord. What's my ping rate? It's not bad. Why is it all glitchy? See if that helps. It should. So, whatever. See if that helps. I don't think it will. It'll probably cause me to switch to another game. But the GDC essentially is where a lot of people, a lot of companies, gaming companies, um, come forward with all the big announcements with like the PlayStation 5, the new Xbox, um, video games, really anything, everything has to do with gaming, including consoles and games itself. Talk to the portal from Sanctum. Ugh, wasn't paying attention. Can't talk and play at the same time. Back to Stormwind. Is this Stormwind? But yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. Because I think GDC is now set, if I remember correctly, they said summertime, July, June or July is when they're looking for. So, Portal Master. Where are you at, Portal Master? So, but I kind of want to see what everybody's thoughts were on that. Street Fighter 5, I think if I read that correctly, was also being, the tournament was also being canceled because of the coronavirus outbreak, or the fears of the coronavirus outbreak. Let's say that correctly so we don't misrepresent. But it's kind of interesting. I mean, here in Kansas, we've had a couple concerns, but I don't think we've had an outbreak yet or a case. So it'll be interesting to see how this all takes place. If they even decide to move the GDC, that may be the best thing to do is just move out of location and move it somewhere else. I I don't think I have audio on this, which is probably why I'm not hearing shit. Muted. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to get back into this and set everything back up, and it's just kind of a little bit of a pain in the ass. So I don't think I was streaming when I stopped playing this. There, now you can hear things.
There is much we can learn here.
Man,
Keep
you
your
all keep
guard
fucking
up.
sending me to the wrong shit. Sorry, really pissed me off here. Sorry about this, guys. I'm trying to figure out where I have to go, and I haven't played this in 6 months at least, I think. So it's making it really hard to see where I have to go. Don't even think that's the right place either. It's kind of a hot topic, or not. Sorry, when I say hot topic, I don't mean controversial. I don't mean heated. I don't mean anything in a negative tone. I just simply mean that's a topic of which has been spoken about, especially within my little group of buddies and pals and friends, whatever you want to call them.
Have much to offer.
Sure.
Return when you can.
But it has been kind of the future where we all see gaming going as a whole. And that's just simply because there's been a lot of discussion. Okay. There's been a lot of discussion of whether or not games are going to remain at the same price that they are now, or if we're going to see a decrease in price and see more of like what Destiny is doing, along with Fortnite and Apex, where you can. Is Apex free actually? I think Apex is free. It's definitely free on the PC. I believe it's free on console as well. It's just if you want all the other perks, you have to pay for the season. So, but a bunch of us firmly believe that there will be kind of a change, a wave, if you will, where we are no longer seeing games held at $60. We'll see them either dirt cheap, like $20, $30, or we're going to see them more along the lines of free, and then with the flip side of doing like Fortnite and Destiny and Apex, where you can then pay to have the more intricate items without it affecting the pay to win or pay to play. Sorry, not pay to win. So essentially, if you're not familiar with that, it's where you are legitimately paying for a better gun that you can't get elsewise without making that payment. Guess I'm going back to Stormwind. Fuck. But there won't be any more pay to win, simply for the fact of a lot of people are working really hard to make it make it outlawed or hugely frowned upon, because um, I think it was a senator from New York. Is that who it was? It's from the northeast coast. But a senator, his son legitimately was playing Fortnite and Call of Duty religiously, and he was paying all this money for the chance of for the chance of possibly getting a weapon of some sort. And he never got it.
How can I help?
And in fact, he actually wasted all this money because he kept getting replicates of the same items, and it was piss him off. And when the senator, aka his dad, found out, he thought it was ridiculous. And I mean, you're not gonna get your money back. This ain't gonna happen. But made a big deal about it. So I think that's finally over. We won't see loot boxes or loot crates that give you any type of advantage. It'll all be cosmetics. Um, but kind of where the difference lies is I'm a firm believer that we'll see games go down to free or no more than $30 a piece.
A king is only as noble as the causes he serves.
Jaina, champion, we are faced with a dire situation.
Our spies report that the Banshee has ordered the execution of Bane Bloodolf.
We must rescue him at once.
Alright, so it's working. Could be because I have a lot of shit on my computer.
By returning Derek to us, to me, he's risked more than anyone. If Bane dies,
I mean, look at it. I see a lot of people, and most of us agree with this, with the group I'm a part of.
Thank you, Jaina.
A lot of people are starting to
May the light be with you
make the
all.
move
Never lose hope.
from console to PC again. It has nothing to do, or I shouldn't say nothing. That's bad phrasing. It has some to do with the integrity of the mechanics, being the fact that PC, and you can fight me on this all day, I own all the consoles from Atari up to now. PC is simply better for the fact of it can handle more, it can constantly be upgraded, it can always be improved no matter what. So it's better in that aspect of it's modulated, however you want to put it, but it's upgradable. You're not going to get that with PlayStation or Xbox. And I know Xbox has stated that they are going to make their new Xbox, Project Scarlet, be modular, where you can do more than just add a hard drive. You'll be able to actually do, upgrade their RAM, I think is the other modular section they have in it. You'll be able to Damn, that was loud. You all could hear that too. But you'll be able to alter minor things inside your Xbox. You won't be able to mess with all of it without voiding the warranty. Technically, PlayStation, you've been able to mess with the hard drive, and if you knew what you were doing, you knew where to find the RAM, you could technically modify the RAM as well and make it run just a little bit faster, but you were gonna pay for it. So like my PlayStation is fully modified. It has, what was the last stick of RAM I put in it? I have it so where it can handle 64 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM inside of it at 3200 speeds. Sorry, I'm trying to also kill somebody. It has brand new hard drive. It actually has a solid state drive of a terabyte, and then it also has an external terabyte of solid state as well to make sure it runs as fast as possible. So I mean, mine's pretty pimped out is the best way to put it. But we're gonna see a big move or trend to a lot of people sticking to PCs as a primary. Console's not dying, it's not going anywhere, it's just not possible. It's not even something to think about, because realistically there's something about having a more conveniently sized device that allows you to play and stream on any TV or monitor with little to no hesitation whatsoever, and packing up and knowing that, hey, I've only spent $400 or $500 on this versus let me go drop $1,000 or $2,000 or in some cases a few grand on a PC that you really don't want to move too much, just in fear of breaking. So you tend to keep that pretty stationary. But I think that's going to be a big cause and big push for games to go dirt cheap. Plus, I mean, if you look at, let's just take PC right now because you don't have it for PlayStation or Xbox. You don't. If you want to play online multiplayer for any console, Nintendo, Xbox, or PlayStation, you have to pay a monthly, quarterly, or annual subscription, and they range anywhere from $10 a month, or I think Nintendo's actually the cheapest. It's just a few dollars. Um, I don't play multiplayer, so I can't quote them. But you're talking about $10 a month up to $60 a year. So, whereas computers or PCs, however you want to look at it, same thing. PCs you don't have to worry about that. I can play any game I want as long as I own it, and that's really the biggest difference is the fact that once I buy a game like Call of Duty, I'm not having to pay an additional fee to pay or play with other members of the Call of Duty family. It's just I play. That's it. You log in, you compete, you go home. Done. So I think that's going to be one of the key differences, unless PlayStation and Xbox, and not really Nintendo, because they're dirt cheap. I think it's $20 a year for their annual subscription. It's either 20 or 25. It is stupid cheap. It uncuts the rest of them. But I think it's going to be a big push to the PC side of the house. And then on top of that, with everybody, not everybody, a lot of people trying to get in streaming. I'm into streaming. I may not be good at it. That's fine. My logic, I think a lot of people's logic is I'm playing the games. Why not stream it and maybe or maybe not make any type of money off of it whatsoever. Majority of people don't make jack squat unless they're part of a bigger group. So I think there's going to be one of the bigger pushes coming along really soon. And then on top of, other than monthly, quarterly, wherever, other than multiplayer fees, let's call it that, having to play with multiple people at one time online. Other than that going down, I mean, look at Xbox. They introduced a Game Pass that allows you to pay $9.99 a month or $15, essentially $10 or $15 a month for Game Pass, which lets you have access to all the Xbox games, and that's transferable to your PC. So I mean, we're seeing even Microsoft acknowledge that this is going to go. This is going to be the way everything gets done. So.
Can you get the gate open?
I'll need time.
Protection.
Jaina, keep those horde thugs at bay.
So I mean, it makes it very handy that if I want to play Halo Reach, I can play it on my PC, or if I decide, oh hey, I'd rather go sit on my couch and play with my wife or play with a buddy, I can do that because my console's multiplayer facet. You can't hook two people up to the same PC and play one game. You can't do that for major games. I do understand you can do that for several games actually. Balloon Tower Defense is one of them. You can actually have two people play at the same time and you split the keyboard. But for games like Call of Duty, Halo, Fortnite, PUBG, Minecraft, you don't play two or more people on the same system. You have the internet and you connect to your server. So I see that being another factor, and PlayStation hasn't answered back to that. Their monthly cost is still $15 a month or $60 a year, and that went up. It used to be only $50 a year. It was still $15 a month, but it was $50 a year for a PlayStation Plus membership just where you can play online. If you didn't play every month, you kind of didn't get your money's worth. I think that's kind of in my opinion, that's my biggest perk of switching hardcore to PC on virtually all my games. There's still a few I'll play on PlayStation, but Xbox I can access all their games now. So Xbox is kind of to me, it doesn't matter. But PlayStation I'll still hook up occasionally. I'll play God of War. Um, I can play Mortal Kombat on my PC, but I kind of purchased it on my PlayStation, so. But we'll see kind of how that goes because I'm actually in talks with them about moving my licensing agreement from PS4 to PC. And sometimes you get lucky with the developers and the owners, and they'll understand because they've already got your money. Why not allow it? But it's hit and miss. It's worked for a couple games I have owned, but I think that's gonna be the biggest reason why people are pushing to PC. I already see it happening with a bunch of people who are quote die hard. Fuck, I'm gonna die. Who are die hard console players. They're already making the move in my little groups and even the bigger groups I follow of people finally going, oh look, I joined the master race, which is the PC race. But I mean, already seeing the push, so it's just a matter of time. People are not wanting to pay money, $60 for a game, $50 for the season pass, or in some cases $30 for a season pass that's only 3 months long. And then you have to pay another $30 and another $30 and another $30 and so on and so on, which is ridiculous. That's my like probably the biggest pet peeve for me is taking the concept of a season literal and making it damn near $30, if not more.
Our king sent us to rescue his friend.
We too have come to save Bane.
His odds will improve if we work together.
Agreed.
Time is short. Let's
Oh, I
move.
haven't seen this movie yet. Ah, that was short.
A long road lies before us. The
Keep a
Alliance
close eye
will
on them,
endure.
But take like Call of Duty for example. I know they do it. You can get the game still $60, not free, $60, and they have season pass, which you don't technically need. Everything in season pass you can get for the most part
We aren't here to fight each other.
through grinding out the game. And I say that for the most part simply for the fact of the matter that there are certain things you get in season pass that you just can't get on the game without grinding through it, and that's like for Call of Duty, it's not weapons, nothing cosmetic even. It's their CPs, which is their in-game currency. You can only get that additional current through the season pass, and you get a massive discount on it. I know season 1 they give me additional, I think 500 or 600 CPs, Call of Duty points. So it made it very easy that I can then go purchase something else with it, or you can pay $4.99 for 500. But it also lets you jump 20 levels, 7, not much actually. It didn't let you jump too many. But you got early access to a couple of the weapons that you can unlock if you just grind.
Looks like Bane is being held just ahead.
But that type of crap is super freaking annoying. Bugs the hell out of me. And I know it annoys the crap out of so many people as well because they can grind and spend hours and hours and hours playing the game and trying to get to the next level in the season and trying to get to that next level and unlock the weapon or the ammo or the camo, sorry, or the um, weapon part or even a new weapon depending upon how it is, gear. So it's becoming a little overkill. And I get why they did it. I understand it, but it's all because of that loot crate crap I was talking about earlier. So I truly believe we'll see a push to PCs or modular systems along with significantly cheaper games that allow people to justify the spending of extra cash in game for season passes that are purely cosmetics and not in any way an advantage. I know Activision's being looked upon right now because of their season pass. You can do all that research yourself, but there's a few people who have went after them or are going after them, saying that it still gives you a pay to win advantage because you get early access to the weapons. Therefore, when the season starts right away, you have access to something that other people may not. Therefore, you have access to maybe a more powerful weapon, maybe a faster weapon, maybe a more deadly weapon. So it's kind of hard to say.
Thrall. Xena.
These chains are warded against magic. I'll need time to pick the lock.
This feels wrong. Sylvanas must have known we were coming.
Indeed she did, traitor. You and Lady Proudmoore.
I have no quarrel with you.
Have you forgotten the purge of Dalaran, murderer? Today, the Sunreavers will be avenged.
And your vendetta is with me, and me alone.
No. You will watch your friends die, just as I did.
Okay.
Rangers, kill them all.
It's
For the
a trap.
We will need an
Sunreavers.
escape route once Bane is free.
I can get us out, but not while these crystals are blocking my teleportation spells.
Then we must destroy them. Go, champion.
I can't attack that target.
Oh, who
Gods!
the fuck am I supposed to be attacking? So I thought just attack the forces. But I said that's legitimately just my opinion on things. I know I have a bunch of buddies who like to not agree with it simply for the matter of
Need to get closer.
not agreeing. But if you look at all the statistics and look at the analytical side of it, it's bound to happen. It's just a matter of when, and I think it'll be less than 5 years. Doing all the research I have and checking out all the trends, I mean, more and more people are starting to realize that gaming is a bigger community than just getting a couple people together and playing on a LAN party, which I'm sure most of you younger crowds have no idea what the fuck a LAN party is. And if you don't, that was a good period in time.
Get in here and
All your
eliminate
buddies
them.
got together at one house, or one house, sorry. All your buddies got together and you just brought your consoles and you all share the same console, be it PlayStation or Xbox, or even Nintendo 64. But you would connect all of them and you would each be on the same LAN setup with multiple TVs, all in the same house and playing the same game competitively. No real internet, just the local network. So it was super cool, super fun time. But like I said, I'm sure you younger crowd have no idea what a LAN party is. And if few of you do, kudos. Way to be versed in it. is going on?
I don't have a target.
Well, no shit, I don't have a target either. I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to be doing. So I was not paying attention.
I need a target.
I don't know what to do. Alright, oh man. I really wish I could think of the game that Amazon's getting ready to release. I think in May. Maybe June. But Amazon's getting to release a game and it looks dope as can be. I think it has very much a Fable feel to it.
I'll disrupt the shields protecting those mages. You destroy the focus crystals.
Alright, I just kind of somewhat focused because I am gonna die.
Over here. I'll bring down the shield from this one next.
So that's the on somewhat unrelated note, but still related because it's just talking about Amazon. I don't know how big any of y'all are into like WWE or the wrestling community, but
I don't have a target.
have any of y'all seen the rumors? And it's just that because nobody has agreed to it, nobody has confirmed them. But there's a rumor going around that's saying Jeff Bezos, the CEO of Amazon, is attempting to acquire WWE and its streaming assets, which, I mean, I used to watch it hardcore during the Attitude and Ruthless Aggression era. You know, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, Hulk Hogan, even near the end of his career, technically, the early time set of John Cena, with all the high flyers, cruiserweights, Team Extreme. You know, the hard, like legit hardcore era would be the best way to put it, because there was always tables, ladder, chairs match, ladder matches, table matches, just nonsensical matches which were just fantastic. My fucking ass has to heal like nobody's business right now.
None of you will escape these halls!
Don't really know if I meant to do that. But, so yeah, saw that the other day pop up on my legit news feed, not Facebook news feed. Fuck, fire. Fire
None
back.
of you will escape these halls!
But I think that'd be kind of interesting to see how they take it, especially since right now AEW is currently kicking WWE's ass in the Wednesday Night Wars. So I mean, they're constantly gaining the majority of the watchers and
I need a target.
tend to be faring a lot better with consistency.
Stay close. I'll get us out.
Whoa. Okay. Let's say that fucked me up. Well, who the fuck do I turn it into? Oh, Jane. Duh. That wasn't really gaming related, but that's fine.
I will do what I can.
What's this?
Be
Good
careful
to have
who
you
you
back,
trust.
Xena.
Why did King Anduin
Nothing.
The
summon?
way Sylvanas ordered the execution of Bane Bloodhoof. Anduin sent us into Orgrimmar to rescue him.
You risked your lives
Yeah, you
to
got me
save a
confused
leader
with
of
someone
the
who
Horde?
cares.
After what he did for Derek, I felt I owed
Can
him
I
a
help
debt.
you?
We received
What can I
some
get for
unexpected
you
help
today?
from Sarfang
Watch your back.
and Thrall.
You were
For
fortunate
country,
that you were not
For
betrayed.
family.
Presenting your heads
I don't
might
know
have
where the
repayed
Chamber of
their
Hearts
war
is.
chief's favor.
We had a common enemy.
I don't know how to get to it.
Sylvanas wanted us at each
Let
other's
me rephrase
throats.
that. I don't know how to get to it.
Perhaps that's what Ajara wants too.
Hold on. Are you
Browse at
suggesting
your
we lay
leisure.
down our arms and fight beside them? After all they've done?
Save what you will need.
Alright. I'm gonna take a very short break, like a couple minutes. I gotta go check in on one of the kiddos, as well as gotta go use the restrooms. And I think I'm gonna switch games too, so we'll kind of see. But guys, I will be back no longer than 5 minutes, but like 2 or 3 practically. Yeah, I'll be right back. Alright, y'all. I did switch games. I went over to Destiny 2, mostly because I have to go find Xur. Because it is the weekend, and he always comes out with epic gear that you can obtain the easiest through him via legendary shards, but also campaign raids and nightfalls. So this company, Bungie, not sure how many of you all are familiar. I'm not trying to sound condescending or rude, Unfortunately, I just work with enough people and dealt with enough people that what I believe is should be common sense within a certain community doesn't seem to be as common as I think it should be. If that makes sense. Um, Kind of the best way to explain it, if common sense says the sky is blue, and yet there are still people who are out there who would beg to differ. Or fire is hot. Once again, people out there. So Bungie, specifically for Destiny, has an interesting and probably my favorite, um, what I like to call savior story. And what I mean by that is Bungie originally was partnered up very heavily with Activision. So you used to have to go and buy Destiny 1 or 2. And if you were on PlayStation or Xbox, it's simple as buying the game or the digital copy of it. No biggie. If you're on PC, you purchase it through Blizzard's launcher, and that's how you played it. Um, but now, since Bungie has been completely released from Activision, they now have 100% say, so now you can find it via... Actually, how did I find it? I think I just went to Bungie's website. So it's a standalone game, no launcher needed, but you can also find it on other means. Don't care, just need the invitation.
If the Nine wanted this, you would not
Oh,
have
I feel like I have Sunshot. Whoa. That's kind of cool. I'm not sure how I feel about this. I mean, I like it. March priorities. Buffs ability regen. Oh. Alright.
The Nine meant for you to have that.
I like that a lot.
One day you will understand.
So we're gonna do
Warlock.
something kind of stupid.
Your
Oh, my gloves.
cells can be more than cells.
Fuck. I don't want to absorb. Fuck.
I am trying to give you answers, Warlock. Believe
That's
me.
new.
I have explained it the best that I can.
But, sorry, back to the saving story. So when Activision had say, or essentially full control of the creation of the game, there was a lot of issues. The Destiny community and Bungie community just hated because they butcher certain aspects of the game. Like Nightfalls used to be so damn not difficult in a matter of like completing them. They were just a nuisance because they made it so where the only way you could progress through certain quests or adventures or side quests was to find one particular nightfall or one particular um, strike, and that was your focus. You had to do it no matter what. If you couldn't do it, tough shit. So it made it very hard to actually progress through it without grinding it. And now since Bungie has 100% control, Activision has no say whatsoever. I think they've rebounded very nicely. And strikes, okay. I think it rebounded very nicely because they have kind of not fully undid everything Activision did, but they have came pretty damn close to trying to make it so where you almost forget Activision did all this terrible shit. And Activision used to be a good company. It really did. And they just kind of got a little greedy. Not as greedy as EA. EA is. EA. Whew, they are something else. It's the best way to put it. Ugh, they are trash. EA has such a problem
The next
with
threat will
letting
come
their
soon, Guardian.
Fight the good
When it
uh,
does,
developers and creators actually do their job properly and freely. They run all their games that they have any say on. They run it very much with an iron fist, and no matter how much feedback they get, they still freaking have all these issues. And if you're not familiar with the issues of which I'm talking about, kind of the best way to bring to light would be EA's responsible, or was majorly responsible for Star Wars Battlefront 2. Game came out 2 years ago, couple years or more ago. Timeline's a little foggy because I don't play it, but they came out with a game, and of course all their little understudy crews came in. They actually created the game. They're just using EA, and EA has full say on the creation, the developing of it, how the game runs, functions. They were the biggest uh, reason for pay to win to come to light, at least in my eyes. I know there's a lot of disagreement on that. A lot of people say it's Call of Duty. A lot of people say Fortnite, and I do believe Fortnite was a major
Warlock.
player. I believe them
Unfortunately, this is all we have at the moment.
them and EA, specifically Star Wars Battlefront 2, was the major player. Um, the biggest reason why I say that is simply for the fact of the matter that you could play the game, you pay $60, and they also had a season pass, which was $50 at the time. No, it was $30, and they had multiple seasons. So that's when I started getting really annoyed. But anyways, so they had this game, and there was all this extra crap you could get. And that sounds very harsh. I didn't like the game. I think it's gotten a lot better. I do. I think it's gotten a lot better. That's just my opinion. But essentially, what happened is you could buy all these extra characters, all these extra weapons, all these extra mods. And the biggest one that struck a chord, and specifically with Disney, because Disney, as you all know or should know, owns Star Wars. Disney owns that franchise. So essentially, for anyone to make a game, apparel, book, TV show, they have to get permission and approval from Disney. They can't just go on and create this stuff. It has to be approved due to licensing, trademarks, and registration fees. So, I mean, yeah. Anyways, so you used to, or you still could, you could, you could acquire the character Darth Vader, and in order to unlock him was going to cost you thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars if you wanted to unlock him, because you had to buy the in-game currency, but it was such a high currency rate to purchase Darth Vader that you had to buy the maximum currency threshold for $99.99, and you had to buy, I think I read a report where it's like 40 or 50 of those, so making almost $5,000, if not a little bit cheaper. The exact amount I'm not 100% sure on because it's been so many years since I've heard it, but you used to have to pay stupid gobs of money to even hope to get Darth Vader. Or you can grind through, but in order to grind through, you had to spend several years of constantly playing day in, day out in order to actually get it. And it just wasn't going to happen. So they made it very, very hard. And a lot of people threw a fit about it. A lot of people were super annoyed by it because of the fact that you had to pay to win. And it was the biggest bullshit out there, whether you agreed with it or not. I mean, it was the fact that you had to pay thousands of dollars for a character for a $60 game. And yes, while Darth Vader was OP as shit, overpowered, for those of you who don't follow the lingo necessarily, you shouldn't have to spend that types of money. So Disney came out, slapped them, and threatened the shit out of them, essentially saying, if you don't cut that crap out, get rid of that, the fees, they were going to pull Star Wars from EA and not let EA ever touch another Star Wars game. So EA quickly complied and said, all right, you win. We'll stop. But man, they do some stupid fucking shit. So, I mean, that's honestly one of the biggest reasons of why pay to win is virtually obsolete. Now, you're not going to find too many games out there or for too long that will require you to pay for a special weapon that you can only get if you pay obscene amount of money. They had to make it available for in-game as well. Fortnite was another. Oh, fuck you. Fortnite was another one that had a lot of issues with that, where if you wanted a certain weapon, you would have to pay. It wasn't thousands. You just have to pay, $20, $30 here, $20, $30 there. Minuscule amounts compared to EA's bullshit that they tried to do. So, and then Call of Duty did it as well with Black Ops 3, Black Ops 4. So that's when the law came to place. US wise, I'm not sure if it's a global, if they did like the company did it for everyone, or if it's just the US. So I'm not sure. I had to get my international buddies to fill me in on that. But I know it was a big talk, and that's when I personally started seeing a lot of people stop playing certain games and move away from not just the game itself, but from the developers and the owners. So Activision, Treyarch, Infinity Ward, EA, Epic. So and EA and Epic play very well together, mostly because Epic doesn't allow EA to push them around. Studios. There we go. That's the word I've been looking for. Studios. But Epic doesn't let EA push them around. So the few games EA and Epic have done together, Epic has owned it. Same with Respawn, the creators of Apex. EA had no say on that whatsoever. Because EA originally tried to make Apex cost, I believe, $19.99 or $29.99, so $20 or $30. And Respawn shut them down really quick, saying no, this is going to be a free-to-play, so where everybody can play it. Because that was the big push about Fortnite, is everybody could play it. Fuck you. Everybody could play it regardless of what console you had or system you had. And the community on that thing is ridiculous because everybody could play. It was free. Why not? So, but I think we're moving to a new era, though, in gaming. Thankfully, moving to a new era where games are going to become a lot cheaper than $60, but we'll have to pay for seasons, and it'll be a legit season. I don't know if they'll stick to 3 months being the shortest, or if they're gonna go down to a monthly. I kind of like how Mortal Kombat did it with, was it 10? I think it was 10, yeah. Where they had seasons were a year, and they release 6 months. Sorry, they were 6 months. My bad. Where the first 6 months, you had all the base characters, nothing too special, but then they introduce Sub-Zero's pack, the XL pack, and you could have access to more characters, more skins, and just get a little bit more better gameplay out of it. And I think they're kind of doing it again right now with 11. But their season pass is legit season pass. You get all the content. But I think that's gonna be what we see here in the very near future. You're not gonna be paying $60 for a game. At most, I think 30, and you'll pay for the season pass. I personally would like to see games get dirt cheap, like talking, if it's a battle royale style game, introduce it for free. Fuck you, turret. Introduce it for free, and then just say, hey, here's 10 character or 5 characters. There's a total of 10. You want the other 5? Either pay for them individually or season pass. So, I think that's where we're heading to. Could be wrong. Could be just god awful wrong on my statistic analysis and trend analysis, but I don't think I am. Kind of went to school for that. Part of my schooling was for that. I have a couple degrees, so they're all kind of different. Where's he at? Gotta defeat these stupid things. I'ma die. Alright, let's see. Fuck me, yep. It'll be interesting to see though. Kind of interested though on your guys' viewpoints. Do you see a lot of people making the move from console to PC? And by that I mean as their primary system. I don't. Console's not gonna die. There's no way PC is going to fully replace consoles. It's just not happening. There's too much portability. So, but I mean, do you see PCs just becoming dominant again, where everybody has a PC and that's their primary way of gaming and communicating with each other, since everybody is streaming anyways? And how do you all feel about games as a whole? Do you see them getting cut down in price, or you think they're going to stay at $60 and plus season pass of 30 to 50? Come on, reload. So, I say it could just very well be me, but I feel pretty certain that we're gonna see a change in the guard, would be the best way to put it. And it'll be for a good thing. fully my opinion. Nobody else's. Except for a couple guys I talked to, but won't include them on this. What's this? Pretty sure we did that. Just then. Oh, I didn't get any kills with my super. Alright, let's go to the EDZ, I guess. I really do hope GDC gets moved to another city so they can continue it, because I don't think this COVID-19 virus is going anywhere anytime soon. I think it's just going to get more and more rampant, and more people are going to become infected with it. Thankfully, I think the U.S. is at 60 or just crossed 60 cases, and just had, just had its first case that resulted in a death of somebody who had the COVID virus. They haven't really announced if it was like the guy or gal was killed because of the virus, or he just so happened to have had the virus and passed away. So I just saw the report earlier before streaming. Can't read the name right away. Skadoosh. But as long as that's a factor, I don't know if anybody's gonna attend that. Any company's gonna want to attend the GDC and announce their games or consoles. It's too much of a health risk to put that many people in a room. Hey, I already have Uriel's gift. Alright. And then I think I gotta go to Mars. Kill Vex and defeat powerful with swords to finish the calibration. Fuck. You know, I have a week to do that second one. So in case somebody on Twitch is wondering, because I know Facebook, I've been private messaged about the scroll bar down at the very bottom. If I'm personally putting that up, or if it's a legit news feed, it is a news feed. It's a legit news feed. I have no control about the content that is viewed on it or reported on it, I guess would be the best way to put it. The news feed itself is coming directly from GameSpot Games feed, so I mean I can change it up to like esports, CNN, GameSpot Entertainment, GameSpot Games, Polygon, Steam, Nintendo, Push Square, or Major Nelson. And I kind of went with GameSpot simply because it's actually a reliable source, and they tend to get a lot of their information correct, and they're very unbiased. I won't be putting CNN up there. It's way too politically charged, and I'm not going to deal with that.
I can see why you'd want that.
I know where I stand, I know where a lot of other people stand. Just I'm not willing to deal with that. stupid shit because people can't be open-minded about a conversation. So, with that said, though, I'm open to have that debate. I'm open to discuss it, any topics, but it's going to be done in a open-minded, open conversation matter. And essentially, all I mean by that is if you don't agree with something I say or something I believe, that you're not gonna get into a rage mode and be all in a tizzy because somebody said something you don't agree with, then whatever. But I've had those conversations. I love having those conversations. I love being open to learning and hearing and knowing more, regardless of where you stand on topics. Just it's kind of interesting, in my opinion.
Seek glory against the Vex. Charge into battle like the mighty Osiris himself.
Just gonna cut these fuckers down with the swords. Oh, it has to be powerful. Fuck! It's the problem when you don't reach all the way through.
His most published chronicler. I know Osiris would have done exactly as you just did. Amazing. Incredible. One might
So you
even
have to
say,
defeat 5 powerful enemies and then just 50 defeated. Let me read the clarification on that, because I think I may be misunderstanding him. Alright, so just Vex in general, and then 50 anybody's, so. Or 5, sorry. 50 Vex, 5 powerful. Doesn't matter their origins. Oh, cool. Did I get one? Man, this is gonna be a long fucking push on this. I guess I can go to Mars. I don't think they have Vex a whole lot. Pretty sure it's just Hive and Cabal. Shit just destroys your ammo. Alright. I think we're just gonna go to Mars and start killing shit. It's gonna be the Hive, so let's just go here. Oh, there's an interesting clarification. When I say something's interesting to me. Somebody just called me out on Facebook. So I tend to use that phrase a lot. Now, this is interesting, or something that's interesting. That's my personal opinion. But something actually I find interesting a lot is the competitiveness of Intel versus AMD with the communities, not necessarily the creators themselves, just the communities.
I have just what you need. The Valkyrie's online. We can't let the Hive claim this
I think
war
he's
center.
one. Those are the
The Hive suppression field is up.
two big players inside the PC world is AMD and Intel. AMD runs a lot of different parts. They don't just do console. You're supposed to still be asleep. You still have an hour left in your nap. You can go get the tablet. You just gotta be very quiet because your brother is sleeping. Yeah, you need to be quiet.
Here's something to fight back the Hive.
Don't revive me.
Rasputin is calling in the Valkyrie at your location. The Hive are sending an ogre.
We'll take care of it.
The fuck we will. We're all dying. I'ma die.
Ogre down. Warsat clear.
All in a day's work. Great job out there.
I think all my kiddos are gonna start waking up now. May have to be calling this a day. But the Intel and AMD community tend to go at each other, depending upon who you ask and how adamant they are. Go at it pretty hard. You're welcome. Shut my door. Quietly. But as I was saying, Intel AMD tend to go at it because there's a lot of people who believe Intel is the best, and there's a lot that believe AMD is the best. I mean, you're gonna have that no matter what. It's just like the console wars. Everybody's is better than somebody else's, so. But if you actually look at the legitimate benchmark tests of somebody using it in action and looking at the stress test of them, you will see their AMD and Intel are very much on par with each other, and it's not just speed and performance handling. Like, they are both legitimate and are beast, and the only real difference, and yeah, AMD outdoes Intel in some cases, and Intel outdoes AMD, but when you look at the legit breakdowns of them, and oh, fuck this big dude, and look at who is testing it, how they're testing it, makes the biggest difference, because I have found AMD does a lot better than Intel does, especially when handling games on a regular basis. Sure, Intel can run games with absolutely no problem, and they do fantastic work at it, but the lifespan of an Intel chip versus AMD, I have replaced more Intel chips in multiple jobs and in my business alone, simply because they're gamers and they're doing multiple things with it. And Intel, whether you like hearing it or agree with my view on it, it holds true. You can look it all up. Intel is a general slash business usage of a processor. It is not 100% designed with games in mind. It's not designed even to do 50% of games. It just has the ability to do games because of its processing speed, but it doesn't handle video games the same way as AMD does. And you can call me all the names you want and say I'm wrong, but I've studied this for close to 2 decades now. I've been in the field for almost 2 decades now, and I can honestly say that's just AMD works a lot better in my opinion. And looking at the statistical analysis, AMD just is. Best way to put it. And I know I'm going to get a lot of slack for it. A lot of people who don't necessarily agree with that, and they like to come at me, and that's fine. I am ready for it. Hit me up. You can private message me if you want, but just understand, reports don't lie. So, that's always been an interesting one, though, because anytime I build computers for clients, the one big question I always ask is, oh, do you have a preference? Are you an AMD diehard fan? Are you an Intel diehard fan? Or do you give two shits about it? Like, what's your view on your processor brand? And for the most part, more and more people are starting to realize, I know what I'm talking about. I have a degree in this. I have certifications in this. I have proof of concept and business. Like, I'm not just full of shit. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. But that's fine. To each their own. To each their own, regardless of being wrong or right. You know what? Fuck you, Forgotten. You're just gonna run off like a little bitch like that? That's fine. But yeah, that's always a question. If I build a computer for somebody, is are you AMD or Intel? And majority of the time they'll ask me my opinion, and I'll tell them straight up. I have had 100% success with all AMD builds I've ever done. And they last longer. I very rarely have any issues that are actually from the system itself. Majority of the time it is a user error. It's not because the AMD processor or AMD graphics card or AMD motherboard is trash. It's the client did something they weren't supposed to, and it fucks shit up. So that's what I see a lot of. Whereas Intel, man, I can't tell you how many times I've had to replace a processor or replace the paste on a processor, or have to just simply strip it because somebody overclocked their machine and doesn't understand that Intel just runs hotter, and it doesn't have a smart AI or UI built in that says, hey, we're running overclock, we need to start picking up the fan speeds. Instead, Intel systems tend to, unless you know how to properly program it, keep that in mind. If you know how to properly program any computer, your shit is going to work because you're doing it correctly. But the out of the box, the standard user, the average user, not the 5 or 10% of people, your system's not programmed properly unless you get somebody like myself or some other of my buddies that I'm fully aware of that know how to do it properly. So, I said, not bagging on anyone, just from all the systems I built, all the machines I've had to repair and do troubles on. It's just, I've never had an issue with AMD. I haven't. Intel, I've had just nightmare upon nightmare upon nightmare of issues. y'all could stop triggering these damn things, that would be great. I'm trying to hunt down Cabal. How many more do I need? 8. Great. What the fuck? Ugh, guys. Man, they triggered another freaking event. I don't want to do the event. I want to hunt down my Cabals. Level 5. I don't think I've ever competed at level 5. Uh-oh. 1 second. There's nothing outside. Get away from the window. Yep, somebody heard a little screaming. I ain't shot at my child. I gotta go kill a couple more Cabals. I guess I'll compete in this. I really. Oh wow, that did not do shit to them. Alright. Done. But before I die, I decide to just completely waste my shit. Oh, I'm dead. That's okay. I'm gonna waste. Or not waste, I'm gonna. Damn. Hopefully these morons stop triggering these things. I really would like to be able to go kill the freaking Cabals. Alright. I don't want to do another one. I want to go attack. You piece of shit. Who triggered one? Oh, got that bounty. Alright. You bastards. These are all strikes. I may have to do these later tonight. Alright. I'm actually gonna call that a day. I know it was only an hour and a half stream. I took a little 5-minute break. I'll kind of have to go manage my kids, seeing as one of them is not behaving too well. But guys and gals, it's been great hanging out with y'all. Once I get all these personal things taken care of and issues resolved to the point where I can get back into streaming 4 or 5 days a week, I definitely will. It shouldn't be too much longer. There will be a week in March where I just won't be in town or in state, so I don't know if I'll stream. If I do, it'll be from like a mobile game, but I won't be necessarily live. It'll just be a regular stream. Well, not regular stream, sorry. It'll be a recorded stream. If I do end up performing a live stream, it won't be with audio or video. It'll just be the game itself. So we'll have to kind of play by ear then. On top of that, March is a super busy month in my house. From birthdays to graduation to I don't want to say prom because it's not necessarily dance, but school events take place that actually jump up my business. So I end up doing a lot of business in March and April. And then I also have a bunch of birthdays in March. I have a bunch of family anniversaries that we celebrate in March. So just a super busy month. But I also will be having a contest again. It won't be a monetary contest. And that is simply because the last few times I've done it, I've been getting a lot of negative feedback and negative people just in general coming in and feeling like they can dictate or they should have a say or yeah, that's kind of the best way to put it. Feel like they're deserved. They've earned it. So until I can get that all resolved, and what I mean by that is, all right. So back up. So in December, I ran a massive contest. The prize was just gobs of money, and the reason why is one, it was holiday, so I had a huge bump in business, and because I had a huge bump in my personal business, and we had more than enough funds, I wanted to throw a contest, and it was just kind of snowballed. Um, the end game was $300. Somebody won, and it was a $300 gift card, so they got it. And then in January, I ran another one, and it was only $50 for an in-store console or PC gift card. So essentially, Xbox Store, PlayStation Store, Steam, Epic Launcher, Origins, essentially a digital store. And when I did that, I had a massive kickback where not everybody, where a lot of people were bitching and complaining that it's not fair, it's not just, or it's not right on me to have such a huge contest in December and then such a quote weak oh shit, what was it's just a super weak contest. And contests are meant to be special times. They're meant to be around certain events that are going on. It's not just because. That's why I don't have a contest every month. I was going to try to run a contest every month, but with all the feedback from January's contest, I didn't want to. I wasn't going to deal with all that negativity and uh, um, just dumb fuckery. I really don't know how to put it any other way because that's legitimately what it was I was getting pissed off, and um, a lot of people have this theory in their head that they deserved everything underneath, or they earn and deserve everything underneath the sun for doing absolutely nothing. And streaming's already hard as it is to stream with or without community. Some of us are still growing. I so happen to be on multiple platforms that, Facebook, I have 200 followers on and 200 likes and all that. On YouTube, I only have, a dozen or so. On Mixer, I have just shy of 100. On Twitch, I have just shy of 200. So I have a group, but they're all kind of scattered, and that's fine because I'm not affiliated with anybody. I do this simply because I like to play video games. I like to stream. Um, but it's kind of gotten out of hand with the contest in February, and like I said, I love doing contests. I love being able to reward you guys and gals who watch and follow me as a thank you, because sometimes saying thank you is just not enough. And it, I follow a bunch of people who do contests on a regular basis, not because of the contest themselves, just because they have great things to watch. I don't know how to do that. How do you reset? Well, that was stupid. Alright. But I digress, because I'm like, getting distracted super bad. And my ADHD is just kind of kicking my ass. I know, I'll be out there in a second. Go ahead. No, go. I'll be out there in a second. Go. Maybe later.
This is not the Crucible, but not every place can be perfect.
I gotta wrap this up because my kid is being a nuisance and trying to get stuff she shouldn't have. But regardless, contests are meant to be special, and somebody ruined it, essentially. Or a group of people have ruined it, so I'm not going to be running a contest for some time. Not at least a monetary contest. I will be having an event going on in March that is going to rotate more along the lines of, like, if we hit a certain amount of followers on collected platforms or one or another platforms like Mixer only or Twitch only or Facebook only, then I'm going to do something during a stream. But as far as monetary contests, unfortunately, those are done for the time being due to idiot people ruining a good thing and being butthurt about it. So I do apologize for that, because I had plans for February to do another 50. I had plans for March for another 50, and stupid people have ruined everything. So there'll be more information on the upcoming events taking place, so stay tuned. Other than that, y'all, I gotta get going before my kid terrorizes the house and destroys shit she shouldn't be. Now that she's fully up and roaming the house. Y'all have a great rest of your day. Have a great weekend. Hopefully I can stream tomorrow night, since I'm off again from Monday to Friday and able to really devote a lot of time. So with that said, take care. Have a great rest of your weekend, y'all. And as always, make sure to like, follow, and subscribe. If you would, it does help us out tremendously, and it's free to do the like and following. Subscribing may cost, at least on Twitch. But feel free to like and subscribe on any platform. Thank you very much. Have a great rest of your weekend, y'all.